Massive AI plays are hitting the market. Last week, Anthropic, valued at almost $1 trillion, filed to go public, while yesterday saw the confidential filing of its chief rival, OpenAI. And later this week, SpaceX is set to IPO in what could be the largest debut ever. Elon Musk also touting its AI connection. So I want to bring in Jon Krohn, the co-founder and CEO of data science consultancy Y. Jon, great to be with you. Why are all these companies so eager to go public right now?
Hey there, Elizabeth. Thank you for having me on the air. It is an honor to be here. So there are two main drivers behind all of this. The first is that private investors have been putting a lot of money into these businesses for many years. In the case of OpenAI, it's about a decade. In the case of Anthropic, it's about 5 years. And so recent valuations in either of those businesses is approaching $1 trillion. And with SpaceX, while they also are a space company, we're getting close to a $2 trillion valuation. And so people who have invested, private investors, are looking to get a return on all of that money that they put in, and the public market is a way to do that. The timing is because some analysts think, this is the second engine of why people are doing it right now, is because with some analysts are concerned that there is a bubble in AI markets right now, that maybe valuations are frothy, and so now would be a good time for those private investors to get a return on all that capital that they put in.
Strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. We know Senator Bernie Sanders has been pushing for public ownership of AI, and the idea is gaining some traction. But what does that really mean, and how realistic do you think that is?
So this is an interesting idea. When I first heard about the concept of public ownership of AI, my first thought was, of course, this is the stock market that we're talking about. People being able to buy stocks in OpenAI, in Anthropic. And the reason why this was my first instinct, as opposed to the Bernie Sanders story, is that companies like SpaceX, with the IPO coming up on Friday, are talking about mechanisms where ordinary retail investors could get in on the ground floor as this IPO is happening, as opposed to having to wait until shares are publicly listed. In the case of OpenAI, they're talking about potentially having that same kind of mechanism. But what Bernie Sanders is talking about is something wholly different. In that case, he's talking about the public owning shares in these businesses, in AI businesses, not through the stock market, but through some kind of government mechanism. That is unusual, and maybe it would work, but there are also risks. Historically, the government getting involved in the ownership of private companies cannot go as well as it might seem on the surface. I think the idea is that Bernie Sanders would like the public to benefit from all of the growth that is expected in AI, but these companies are already trading at many times what their sales are, what their revenue is, and so there's a risk to the public with a move like this as well.
Jon Krohn, great to be with you. Thanks so much for that insight.